In the wild, there are no maps, no rulers, no written laws. And yet, the world of wild horses moves with an order so intricate, so intelligent, that it continues to baffle even the most experienced researchers. Every flick of an ear, every toss of a Mare, every synchronized step, it all means something. This is not chaos. It's communication. It's strategy. It's survival. For centuries, humans have watched wild horses and seen freedom, but few have understood the hidden system that makes that freedom possible. Deep within every herd lies a society shaped by trust, memory, emotion, and silent understanding. There are leaders who guide without force, protectors who fight without ego, and outcasts who find brotherhood in exile. From the wise alpha mares who hold generations of knowledge, to the powerful stallions who defend their families with courage and grace, to the bachelor bands waiting for their turn at leadership, the wild horse's world is a masterpiece of social design. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on this hidden order. These are the 10 most baffling wild horse herd dynamics revealed, a journey into the minds, emotions, and instincts of one of nature's most intelligent communities. In the world of wild horses, leadership doesn't roar, it whispers. And the most powerful figure in the herd isn't the stallion, it's the lead mare. Unlike the dominant stallion, whose job is to protect and defend, the lead mare's power comes from wisdom, not force. She decides when the herd moves, where it grazes, and when it rests. Her authority is earned through experience, through seasons survived, dangers remembered, and paths learned by heart. There's no neighing, no stamping of hooves, no display of dominance. Her leadership lives in silence, a language of body signals that the herd understands instantly. Even the stallion defers to her judgment when it comes to movement and safety. She knows where water lingers after a drought, which valleys hide predators, and when storms are near. The herd's survival depends on her intuition, a living map written in instinct and memory. To watch a lead mare is to see quiet confidence in motion. No aggression, no ego, only trust and balance. She leads not through control, but through calm certainty. And in that stillness lies the secret of her authority, the heart that guides the herd through the wild's endless uncertainty. To the outside world, the stallion is the image of power, the muscle, the protector, the fearless warrior of the herd. But look closer, and you'll see that his role runs far deeper. The stallion lives a double life, one of strength and one of quiet sacrifice. Yes, he defends the herd, chasing away rival males, confronting predators, and maintaining order. But when the danger fades, his demeanor shifts. The same stallion who rears in battle becomes gentle among his mares and foals, nuzzling them, keeping peace, and ensuring the herd remains calm and united. He is both guardian and caretaker, a diplomat who uses posture, expression, and presence to prevent conflicts before they begin. A mere flick of his tail or step forward can dissolve tension among the herd. He leads not through fear, but through assurance. And while he stands proudly at the center of this social world, he often eats last and rests least. His eyes are always open, scanning the horizon for threats unseen. The stallion's double life is one of duality, fierce strength balanced by tender loyalty. He is both the sword and the shield, the fighter and the father. In his silent watch, the wild finds its balance between chaos and calm. In a wild horse herd, the foals are more than just the next generation. They're students in one of nature's most remarkable classrooms. From the moment they take their first shaky steps, the lessons begin. Every nudge, nip, and playful chase teaches something vital. Through play, foals learn the language of dominance and submission, the importance of boundaries, and the rhythm of the herd's movement. They discover who to follow, when to yield, and how to read subtle cues long before they're grown. But learning doesn't come from play alone. The bond between a foal and its mother is its first foundation, a connection built on trust, warmth, and protection. The mare teaches patience, survival, and awareness. Her calm reactions to danger or noise shape how the foal learns to respond to the world. And it's not just the mothers. Aunts, older siblings, even tolerant stallions play their part. The entire herd becomes a circle of mentors, a living, breathing school where every member has something to teach. These early social bonds are the roots of herd unity. When danger comes years later, those same foals, now strong adults, will move as one, guided by instincts learned in their playful youth. In the wild, education doesn't come from books. It comes from watching, feeling, and belonging. Not all stallions rule over herds or guard mares. Some live in a different world, one defined by freedom, friendship, and constant rivalry. These are the Bachelor Bands, loose groups of young, often exiled stallions finding their place in the wild. Driven out by dominant males when they come of age, these bachelors band together for survival. Life alone in the wild is dangerous. Predators lurk, resources are scarce, and isolation is a silent enemy. But in the company of equals, they find strength. The Bachelor Bands are nature's training grounds, the proving fields where future leaders are forged. Within these small groups, stallions test their strength, practice their dominance, and learn restraint. Their mock fights are lessons, rehearsals for the day one of them challenges a herd stallion for control and wins the right to lead. But it's not all about competition. Bonds within Bachelor Bands can run deep. These stallions groom one another, share grazing grounds, and even protect each other from predators. They develop mutual respect, a code of balance between rivalry and brotherhood. In the wild, the Bachelor Bands are the unsung stories of patience and preparation. They may live in the shadow of dominant herds, but within these young alliances lie the seeds of the next generation's kings, future stallions shaped by camaraderie, challenge, and the wild's untamed lessons. In the wild, words are useless, survival depends on silence. And wild horses have mastered a language more complex and subtle than any spoken tongue. The language of ears, eyes, and tiny movements. Every flick of an ear, every glance, carries meaning. Forward-pointing ears mean curiosity or alertness. One ear turned back? That's attention split, half on the sound, half on the herd. Flattened ears, though, are a universal warning. Back off. The eyes speak just as clearly. A soft gaze signals calmness and trust. Wide eyes with visible whites spell alarm. Even the tilt of a head or tension in the jaw can ripple through the herd like a whisper, passing messages faster than sound. When danger approaches, the herd doesn't panic in chaos. One alert glance from the lead mare, a quick flick of the tail, and suddenly, every head is up, every ear is forward. Within seconds, they move as one. This silent communication is what keeps them alive, a shared instinct, refined through generations. It's empathy in motion, awareness without noise. Humans might call it body language, but for wild horses, it's something deeper, a living dialogue of emotion and instinct. In every glance and gesture, the herd speaks a secret language, one only the wild truly understands. In wild horse society, leadership is rarely fixed. Unlike human hierarchies built on title or force, the herd relies on a fluid system, rotating leadership that adapts to circumstances, terrain, and the experience of its members. While the alpha mare often sets the overall direction, there are moments when other mares temporarily assume the lead. These transitions are subtle, a pause, a forward step, a flick of the ear, yet the herd responds instantly, moving as a cohesive unit. Rotating leadership serves a purpose far beyond etiquette. It allows the herd to leverage the knowledge of different mares in different situations. One may know the safest grazing grounds, another may remember where water flows after a dry season, and yet another may sense approaching danger before the rest. Even the stallion respects this system. While he guards and protects from the rear or flanks, he allows the mares to decide the herd's pace and path, trusting their instincts and experience. This dynamic, ever-changing leadership ensures that the herd remains adaptable, resilient, and united. It's a living lesson in flexibility and trust, a model where authority is shared, experience is valued, and survival depends on collaboration. In the wild, leadership is not a title. It is a responsibility, shared among those best suited to guide at any given moment. In the world of wild horses, inclusion is earned, it is never given. When an outsider approaches a herd, it faces a test unlike any other. This is the outsider's trial, a series of subtle but demanding rituals that determine whether a new horse will be accepted or turned away. The trial is rarely violent. Instead, it is a careful negotiation of body language and boundaries. The newcomer is observed, sniffed, and circled. The alpha mare watches closely, judging every movement. Stallions may rear, paw the ground, or nicker softly, signaling the herd's expectations without direct confrontation. During this period, the outsider learns the rules of herd life, where to stand, how to respond, and how to communicate without provoking aggression. Missteps are met with warning gestures, a flick of the ear, a subtle nip, a step forward to assert space. Success comes through observation, patience, and respect. Eventually, if the newcomer demonstrates understanding and composure, it is fully integrated. Foals may play beside them, mares may graze closely, and the stallion acknowledges their presence in protective silence. The outsider's trial is more than a test of strength. It is a lesson in patience, humility, and social intelligence, a reminder that in the wild, trust is earned, harmony is maintained, and survival depends on knowing one's place in the delicate balance of the herd. In the wild, survival is not only a matter of speed or strength, it is also a matter of understanding. Wild horses demonstrate a remarkable form of emotional intelligence, sensing moods, intentions, and distress within their herd. Every movement, every glance, carries meaning. A mare can calm an anxious foal with a soft nudge or a steady gaze. Stallions detect unease and adjust their vigilance, offering reassurance without a single aggressive act. Even distant members of the herd respond to emotional cues, maintaining harmony across the group. This intelligence is not learned in isolation. It is cultivated through social bonds. Foals grow up observing and imitating these interactions, internalizing how to respond with empathy and cooperation. Herd members remember past experiences, who is trustworthy, who is anxious, and who may need extra space during a storm. In moments of danger, emotional intelligence can be the difference between chaos and survival. A single alert glance from the alpha mare can prevent panic. Calm responses ripple through the herd, keeping young and old safe as they move together in unison. The herd's social intelligence is subtle but powerful, a language without words, a network of awareness that sustains life. In wild horses, emotion is not a weakness. It is a tool, a guide, and a bridge that binds the herd in unspoken understanding. When we think of hierarchy in the animal kingdom, images of constant fighting and aggression often come to mind. But in wild horse herds, dominance is rarely maintained through violence. Instead, it exists as a delicate balance of respect, subtle signals, and social intelligence. The alpha mare commands attention not with force, but with presence. A lift of her head, a flick of her tail, or a shift in posture can influence the movements of the entire herd. The stallion supports this order, maintaining peace and protecting the group, yet he rarely needs to engage in open conflict. Every member of the herd understands its place, and the rules are reinforced through nonverbal communication. Ears, eyes, and body language convey authority, warning, or reassurance, reducing the need for aggression. Even challenges are typically resolved with ritualized displays, a paw here, a nicker there, rather than injury or prolonged fighting. This system is not just efficient, it's essential for survival. Violence within the herd could leave members vulnerable to predators or reduce cohesion during migration. By relying on hierarchy without harm, the herd maintains unity, safety, and the strength to endure harsh environments. In the world of wild horses, power is subtle, authority is quiet, and hierarchy is a dance, one that ensures the survival of the herd without the cost of unnecessary conflict. Among the many wonders of wild horse behavior, few are as fascinating or as mysterious as their ability to make collective decisions. Unlike humans, who debate, vote, or negotiate, wild horses rely on an unspoken network of instinct, observation, and trust. Yet somehow, the herd moves as one, often without a single audible cue. The lead mare often initiates movement, using subtle signals, a head lift, a step forward, or a tail flick. The herd responds almost immediately, but the decision is rarely hers alone. Older mares, stallions, and even younger members contribute their instincts, creating a shared wisdom that guides every choice. This collective intelligence ensures survival. Whether it's deciding when to move to fresh grazing grounds, when to rest, or when to flee from danger, every decision is informed by experience, environmental cues, and social bonds. The herd's cohesion is so strong that researchers often describe it as a hive mind, a living network that processes information faster than any single horse could. Even in the face of threat, chaos rarely occurs. A predator may appear, yet the herd reacts almost instantaneously, each member adjusting instinctively to the others. The mystery of collective decision-making remains one of nature's most incredible feats. It is a silent intelligence, an instinctual democracy, and a living testament to the power of unity, where every hoofbeat is a vote, and every decision is a step toward survival. As we've journeyed through the hidden world of wild horse herds, one truth becomes clear. Their lives are far more than instinct and survival. They are stories of intelligence, empathy, and harmony, a living demonstration of nature's wisdom. From the alpha mare, whose silent authority guides without force, to the stallion, whose dual role balances strength with protection, each member contributes to a delicate social balance. Foals learn, Bachelor Bands grow, and every interaction is a lesson in cooperation, trust, and understanding. Even the subtle language of ears, eyes, and body movements reveals a complexity that rivals any human communication. These dynamics are not just fascinating, they are essential. The herd thrives because of collective intelligence, adaptability, and emotional awareness. Decisions are made as one. Conflicts are resolved without harm. Leadership rotates, and every member knows its role. It's a society where survival depends not on brute force, but on empathy, cooperation, and silent communication. Watching wild horses teaches us more than about animals. It teaches us about life itself. About unity, patience, resilience, and the power of silent understanding. In the wild, there is no chaos, only harmony, intelligence, and the enduring rhythm of freedom. In every